Hey folks, it is here, the Google Pixel 10 Pro, and I'm going to unbox it, and I'm also going to give you some tips. If you are going to be using your 10 Pro or your 10 Pro or 10 Pro XL, this is a Pro XL, if you're going to be using it for 4 and 8K videos, I've got some tips that I can give you with the 9 Pro XL that I used for over a year when it comes in relation to 4K and 8K filming. Some lessons that I learned the hard way. And these are some things that you will not find the answers to on Reddit because I have looked and I can tell you some of the things that you're going to run into and how you can get around it. All right. This one right here, my old phone, well, it will be my old phone. I'm trading it in. I'm going to get a $600 trade in for this. Um, I used it extensively, and this is a 128K, and I would never ever buy the smallest storage space of a Pixel Google Pixel phone if you're going to be using it for 4K and 8K filming. So let's open this thing up and see what's in here. Okay, I have a return label if I need to return it. This is what's in the box. Some paper. Don't know why that's in there. And as we might expect, it is a Google Pixel, and this is the 10 Pro XL right here. Google Pixel 10 Pro XL. What else is in the box? This is my return kit. Okay, so that is for the trade-in. Okay, so let's see. How do you open this thing? All right, you tear these off, I guess. Now, the reason I bought this phone is not to have the newest thing. I actually needed to replace my phone, and I'll explain why here in just a second. Wow, how do you open this? Oh, this is really hard to get out. It is real hard to get this thing out of the sleeve. And of course, I don't want to rip the sleeve apart in case I decide to sell this before they come out with an 11. Wow. What a pain to get out and get that out of. Oh, okay, there. So there's the sleeve. And here it is. Just your basic cardboard box. With, yep, a phone. Little pull tab to pull it up. And this is what it looks like right here. It comes with some protective packaging. Okay. All right, so there it is. This is the Obsidian. This is the 1 terabyte, the largest amount of storage they offer. This now has wireless charging, and the 1 terabyte is going to be really important, and I'm going to explain why, because I'm going to be using this for 4K filming. See, it has a USB-C connector there. Okay, so that's the phone right there. That's an Obsidian. And you know, I really wish that they offered more colors because I believe the 1 terabyte version is only available in Obsidian and black. And I will never ever buy a black phone, especially for video filming, because black retains heat. So this is the lightest color that was available in the 1 terabyte. They have some lighter colors, but they're smaller storage space. And then it comes with a USB-C cable, which they sell on the Google store for $20. And that's it. There is nothing else in the box unless this tray comes out, which it doesn't. No instructions at all. So that's basically, that is what it is. And when I bought this, I bought it when they did a release program with Jimmy Fallon. Pretty strange program. I didn't watch the whole thing. I almost wish I hadn't seen that. But here's the reason I upgraded from the 9 Pro XL to the 10 Pro XL. This phone here I've had for a year, and the warranty went out last month. I've had two issues with it. One of them is when I was filming 4K and 8K videos in Japan, it started to overheat and it was cold. It was during the winter. And when I was filming 4 and 8K videos in Northern California of Return to the Jedi filming locations, it was relatively cool. I would say in the 70s Fahrenheit, and the phone overheated after doing about 2 or 3 4K or 8K 10-minute long videos, which are the maximum. So the phone has overheated multiple times. And in all fairness, I do have an aftermarket case on it. I do not have a case yet for the new 10 because they're not out yet. A lot of vendors, including on Amazon, are selling 9 Pro XL cases as if they will fit the 10 Pro XL. They don't. So don't fall for that. Same thing on eBay. There's a whole bunch of sellers. The ones on Amazon, it just shocks me because all they've done is they've changed their description. Because if you look through all the reviews are for the 9, but it says that the case is for the 10. Nope, it's not. That's bull. The only case that is available from this comes from Google at present for the 10 comes from Google at present, and it is $40, and it's pre-order, and you can't get it until September 3rd. That's the delivery date. Now with this, it arrived today, August 28th, the day that they promised. I pre-ordered this on the 20th, and when I was watching the show with Jimmy Fallon, oh, wow, it looks like it just came on. I didn't push anything. I guess it knows I'm looking forward to this. So when I was watching the program, when this was released, I went ahead and pre-ordered it and filled out my trade-in form and everything. This came with a year of Google AI Pro, which also has storage space, such as what you would use for photos. And I have a massive amount of stuff in photos. Well, what happens? 30 minutes after I ordered it, while it was the program was still on, then Google sent me a $200 off coupon by email. So I canceled my order in order to use the coupon, and guess what it did? It canceled the Google AI, which canceled my storage space for photos, and suddenly I was out of space for photos and email. Everything quit working. I think that Google should have sent the email before that show came on so that those of us that were pre-ordering the 10 would have the coupon that they promised us that we signed up for without allowing us to order and right when it was released. The first one I ordered was, I would say, maybe 30 seconds after it showed up on the website when it was released. So the other issue that I had with the 9, aside from it overheating, was that the battery started getting really short. This is right at the time the warranty expired. And the most concerning issue is that this phone just started to lock up randomly. Now, I didn't get the 10 to upgrade for extra features because I'm really not expecting much more. I'm just hoping that this thing doesn't overheat when I'm filming, and I need a phone that stays on. Because if I'm out in a remote area and I need to dial 911, you can't do that with a phone that is locked up. So this thing's going back as a trade-in. The only thing required for trade-in is that it powers on and the screen's not cracked. So Google can deal with this and their battery that doesn't work as well as it used to, and a phone that just is almost guaranteed to overheat when it's cold. So with this one right here, I want to explain something to you guys that are going to be filming 4 and 8K video with it. The storage space is critical because what I learned, if you look right here on this channel, look for Koto City, Japan. When I was testing the 9 Pro in 4K, the maximum size is 10 minutes. And you can only fit 2 or 3 10-minute videos on a Pixel that only has 128K worth of storage. And here's the thing about that. In order to use the boost feature, which is where AI enhances your video to make it brighter and crisper, and it makes a huge difference. You won't believe this. You have to back up that file from the Pixel to the cloud in Photos and then wait for it to process, which in some cases it can take a whole day. And it only processes one file at a time. Okay? So what if you want to film, let's say, 10 10-minute videos out at one location? You're not going to be able to do that, and especially if you don't have an internet connection. What if you're out somewhere like in the Redwood Forest where Return of the Jedi was filmed, where there's no internet connection? There's no way to upload that stuff to the cloud, and then all of a sudden you're out of room, which basically makes your phone a brick at that point. It's highly inconvenient. So I did figure out a workaround. Now, and those files are massive as well. They can be 20 to 30 gigabytes a piece for a 10-minute film. If you're recording in 4K or 8K, they're absolutely massive. And with the Pixel 9 Pro only having 128 megabytes, then, or I'm sorry, gigabytes, this has 1 terabyte, then it's not enough room. The 128 gigabytes, half of it, over 50 of it, is system files. So you really only have about 50, and that's only it would be maybe one 8K video, 10 minutes long. And then you have to have room on the phone for when it returns from the cloud. And another thing, if your phone is not on, when it returns to the cloud, it fails. So it doesn't even boost after you spent all of that bandwidth, which unless you have unlimited mobile data, that's insane. You can't do that. You have to upload it all through Wi-Fi. And then if the phone's off, when it comes back, it fails. So what you have to do further is unlock your phone as a developer, which has a feature that leaves the screen on while it's charging. So let me make this simple. Let's say you have something awesome that you want to film in 8K with your Pixel Pro or XL or whatever. And you are going to have to go through multiple steps of backing it up to the cloud, letting it process, which can take a whole day, and then your phone's going to have to be on when it comes back or it fails. So the screen has to be on. So what you have to do is change the developer settings to leave the screen on while it's charging. And no, there's no instructions for any of this. I had to figure it out on my own. So then you have to leave your phone somewhere connected to Wi-Fi unless you have unlimited mobile data. And then sometime the next day, your video will be done. And then you can do the next one. Well, that's great if you're only doing one video. That makes this worthless if you're doing more than one at 4K. So anyway, I figured out a hack, and I'm going to show you how to do it. All right. This took quite a bit of playing around with. What I learned is that what you can do is turn off backup, okay, or just turn off your data connection. Film your 4K or 8K video, and then while you're on site, what you do is you take an external SSD. This one right here is a SanDisk 2 terabyte, okay? And then you just plug that into the USB-C while you're on site. Then you go to Files and you download both of the files. That's very important. You download both of the files because one of them is going to be raw data and the other one is going to be what's called a cover file. The raw data file is the main file, and the cover file is what the Google servers are going to use to recognize that this is something that needs to be boosted because you upload both of the files, and it combines them into one, and then it returns them from the cloud. So what you do is download both files. There's an additional advantage in doing so, because if you were to boost it only from your phone without offloading it first, you will lose the original raw file. I'm sorry, you will lose the secondary file, which is a 1.5 gigabyte file that ends with the word .cover. That is a brightened version of your video and what it will look like once it has been processed by Boost. However, it is not in 4 or 8K. It's only in HD. And if you don't remove that file before you process through the cloud to the Boost, you lose that file. So basically, with your film, your 10-minute 4K or 8K film, or as long as you want, up to 10 minutes, you're going to have 3 files that exist. It's going to be the raw file that will be processed. Then there's going to be the cover file. And then what's going to be returned, the third file, will be your actual high resolution 4K or 8K boosted file. So you'll be creating 3, but you can only do that if you offload the data before you process it through Boost. Otherwise, you lose one of them, which is called the cover. Nice and simple, isn't it? And, you know, I blame Apple for this. You know, back when Apple released the iPod, they wanted something to look like it was so simple that, oh, it's only one button and it's so easy that you don't need instructions. Google needs to document what I just said, okay? And it could probably be put in simpler terms. They need to document what I just said to teach people how to properly use these phones, because it was a lot of frustration. In Japan, I actually lost a couple of the 4K filmings that I did, because when that first cover file came up, the bandwidth in Tokyo is so high, I thought, wow, it must have already processed. Nope, it didn't. So I deleted the raw file and kept only the brightened version that looks boosted at 1.5 gigabytes, and that's it. Once you delete the other one, it's gone. So, and that's only in HD. So I lost some of the 4 and 8K resolution that I was trying to get because of the fact that they don't clearly explain how to use it. And it only processes one file at a time, as if that could just make things worse. So with your new Pixel 10, get an SSD, okay? First of all, if you're going to be filming, I do suggest the 1 terabyte version. It sucks that you can't get a white one. I would prefer a white one. And get you an SSD as a companion to your new Google Pixel 10. That way, storage space is not an issue when you're out filming. And instead of an aftermarket case, like I said, don't get the ones on Amazon and eBay right now that say that they're for a Pixel 10, because as of right now, August 28th, the first day that the 10s are being delivered for pre-orders, a case for this phone does not exist, not even from Google, only available through pre-order. So I hope that helps some people not have to go through the pain that I went through of learning how to use one of these. Now I'm about to swap my data to this new one. I'm not going to be using a case until my Google case arrives. If this thing overheats at 4K and 8K, I'm actually going to take the case off. I use this with a DJI stick in order to control it. I'm using a DJI Mimo, and I wish all of you the best of enjoyment with your new Pixel 10s, and I hope that I've been able to provide you with something that you might not have otherwise known of. If I was not clear enough about what I've explained, let me know in the comments. I will read them, and I'll try to answer your questions. So until next time, everybody enjoy your new phones that just started arriving today. I'm kind of excited about mine. Peace out from San Francisco.